Cha-ching, happy Monday, everybody. We're cashing in here on this early part of the week. Cool. I don't know. It's the start of a week.
We're playing Monopoly.
Yeah, you got to be positive. You got to, bring the money your way. You know what I'm saying? When was the last time you did the Monopoly on the McDonald's stuff? That was
that was fun. Yeah. I wish they brought that back every year.
They did for a little bit, and now I know it went away. So unfortunately, this is me not having a way to start the show and just improvising. So there you go. That's a Monday show.
That was great. Hey,
have a good day, everybody.
I'll let this next story take help us kickstart this week. So we are sliding into the new work week. Cha-ching. However, a new slide is being called a little controversial. An amusement ride designed to mimic one of history's most famous shipwrecks is causing a little bit of a stir overseas. A Titanic-themed slide at a farm in England getting some backlash from some folks who say it makes light of the 1912 disaster that killed some 1,500 people. But however, the kids out there, it's proving to be a big hit with them.
I'm sure the kids don't care, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, maybe not the best design for a slide perhaps, but it's been 100-some years. I mean, when do you get to start making fun of it? I don't know, but maybe you never get to start making fun of it. You probably shouldn't.
I think maybe if you didn't slap the name Titanic, people could be like, I believe that's the Titanic. It's a little controversial.
Yes.
However, slapping the name on it and having the kids slide down and
probably not the best idea.
Yeah, it's a little tough.
Yeah, I know locally, I believe, we had a woman who lived in Proctor, I believe, and I know if you drive in the neighborhoods, you can see in this woman's front yard. I believe she's passed away now. Correct me if I'm wrong if you know this woman, but she was on the Titanic as a baby, I believe. Wow. And you can go in her front yard. You don't actually go in the front yard, but if you drive by, you can see the Titanic actually in her yard. It's pretty cool, like a replica. Or
not the real Titanic.
Not the real Titanic. Okay. No, she didn't pull it out of the ocean, but it definitely is a cool replica of it that's in her yard.
So if you know more about it, let us know.
Please, I want to know more about that. That seems very interesting for sure. Coming up on today's show, a member of our morning team is going to be joining us right here in studio. Our new morning anchor, Anna Ekberg, that is, stops by, and she's going to be talking about life on the mornings, her time so far in Duluth, and her new streaming shows coming to northernnewsnow.com. Always fun.
And we just recorded those conversations with her. She's very nice, very awesome, has a great personality, and so not only going to be doing the morning show and the 9 a.m., but she's got 2 other shows that are coming to our streaming platform. So Anna's been busy.
But she's got the right personality for that kind of workload for sure.
Yeah. Excited for that chat. So back when I was on the morning show way back in the day, my first ever director, Jack.
Yes.
Awesome guy. We would hang out all the time after work. Wanted to give him a quick shout out. That is because he was just featured by our sister station in the Twin Cities, because he is now the captain for the Taylor's Falls Scenic Boat Tours, which take place on the St. Croix River. Jack's been doing this a long time, and so it was kind of fun to see him get some recognition from WCCO down there.
He's been doing, when we heard that he was going to go to be a riverboat captain, we're like, what a 180 from this world right here. That was so cool to hear that. He was always a fun fella for sure. I'm sure, do you have some dirt on him you want to put out there, Ryan?
No, Jack, those morning hours you get to, as Hunter and I know very well, it's like you build some great friendships and some bonds with some folks, and while the two of us haven't been in as close of touch as we were back in the day, it's cool to see him be happy in that new aspect.
You guys still snap every once in a while, Snapchat?
Every once in a while.
Yeah,
so,
good dude.
Congrats to you, Jack. That's awesome. Well, I've shown you plenty of those humanoid robots here on Northern Life, but this one we have not seen in this role quite yet. Chinese firms out there have developed humanoid robots to be police officers, but they're just designed to assist traffic officers. So the demand for robots is expected to grow in public service roles, particularly in hazardous or challenging environments. And they're also using traffic management robots as tour guides, so they're giving out directions and maybe some sightseeing information to visitors through some voice interactions.
Here we go. It's a slippery slope, folks. Pretty soon they're going to be doing all the policing and everything like that. So I don't know. It's a slippery slope. Be careful with that.
Yeah, I'd be afraid of cars hitting the RoboCop.
Oh, that's true too.
Do they get charged if they hit a RoboCop the way they would, if they accidentally hit another cop?
If they ran from a RoboCop or something like
I guess
that?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if I would respect a RoboCop the same way I would respect an actual police officer.
Probably not.
Interesting.
Probably not. What a world we live in.
It is,
New college kids out there, a few large universities will start accepting your tuition payments via PayPal or Venmo. The schools taking part include Kansas State, Michigan State, Texas Tech, and Butler University. And PayPal says these payments will include their standard security protections, but some financial experts out there want to caution you they are not the same protections offered by banks. Also, the school taking your money in one way, they're going to be taking your money in another way. That is because they're going to be adding fees to those payments. At Michigan State, that fee, 2.75%.
Oh my gosh, and you take 2.75% of what, $20,000?
Yeah.
That gets to to be quite the fee right there.
Especially
so.
from, I guess, tens of thousands of students. Yeah,
Yes.
It probably adds up.
Isn't it interesting? The prices always go up. They never often go down, do they? No matter what it is.
I don't know.
Very
I don't
interesting.
know what it is. Yeah. For generations out there, driving a stick shift was a must, especially, RoboCops probably don't know how to drive a stick shift.
Yeah.
But now manual transmissions are almost gone from new car lots. An EPA report shows just 0.6% of new cars sold in 2025 had manual transmissions, down from more than a third of cars in 1980. But some drivers out there keeping the skill alive. That includes here at the New York Driving School, where students are learning to master the clutch and the shift. And for some, it is more than a tradition. It could actually save you some money when you go and get your rental cars overseas.
And I know that they are cheaper cars in general, too, and they have less mechanical issues, I believe. But you had a stick shift, right?
I did. I loved my Chevy Cavalier manual stick shift. That was an awesome car.
That was one of my first cars that I learned how to drive on, too. My grandpa's 1994 Jeep Wrangler.
Wow.
And I plowed with it on his farm, and he taught me when I was like 13 or 14 how to drive that stick shift. I still someday will own one of those Jeeps. It'd be really, really cool.
That would be cool. And it's just a good skill to learn, but also at the same time, if you put me in a stick shift now, I don't know if I'd remember as much as
Really? I bet you could pick it up pretty
did back in the
quickly.
day. Maybe not as easy as riding a bike.
Did you drive it? It was in Duluth that you had that, correct?
It was, and so
How was that?
being stuck on those hills, you learn very quickly how to keep the balance between the clutch and the accelerator.
Yes, because when I drove, I was always on the farm, the flat land for the most part, but that'd be tough.
It taught you real quick. Yeah. Also, I learned basically driving home from the New York State, where it was from my uncle.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was a manual, so I learned from New York back to Minnesota.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Great experience with my dad. Well, hey, stick around. Anna Ekberg joining the program, talking about life and work here at Northern News Now. Welcome back, everybody. Today we are joined by a member of our Northern News Now Today team. Let's welcome in our newest anchor, Anna Ekberg. Anna, appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Ryan. We got 8 eyes in the studio today for this special event, so I'm really happy to be here.
We got glasses. We're both wearing green.
Yeah.
It's the perfect Northern Life segment. And
Yeah,
so Anna
right.
Ekberg is on our morning team, joining Natalie Hepner and Brendan Pham. So for the people meeting you for the first time, what should they know about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Anna Mary Ekberg, full government name.
Nice.
I was
legal.
born
Yep.
on September 30th. I'm a Libra, so my birthday's coming up soon. I'm almost 23, hard to
Nice.
believe.
Yep.
I'm originally from Northern Illinois. I cannot say that I'm from Chicago. I'm just a
Gotcha.
little too far away to get away with that. I'm about an hour and a half west of Chicago, 30 minutes south of Wisconsin.
Nice.
So smack dab in the middle of Northern Illinois. So that's where I'm from. I grew up in Rockford, was there my whole life. I went to college in Urbana-Champaign at the University of Illinois, Go Fighting Illini,
Yeah.
ILL. Loved my time there. It was awesome. And yeah, I moved up here. This is my first job out of college. I'm still in awe that they wanted me here, but here we are. And I've been having the absolute time of my life, and I've loved every second I've been up here so far, which has been about 3 months now, I'd say.
Yeah. You joined us during the summer
Yeah.
months, and now you're getting ready for the Duluth winters. What have you heard so far about them?
I've heard that it's bad.
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
that it's very bad. But growing up near Chicago, I mean, it's the Windy
Yeah.
City, so those winters are pretty brutal as well. So I'd like to think I'm a pretty tough cookie when it comes to the cold. But
Knock on
we're
wood.
not going to speak that into existence just yet.
Let's talk about your first impressions of the Northland. So you came here to Northern News Now. You're on the morning
Yeah.
show. Maybe what was your first experience in Duluth like?
My first experience was a little chilly.
Mm-hmm.
We stopped to, use the bathroom, get some gas. My parents and I, we were right before we crossed the bridge to get into Minnesota.
Right.
So we were in like the Hayward Spooner area. It was 86 degrees. We crossed the bridge. We get out of the car at our hotel, it's 65. That was my first impression.
You said,
I'm
"What
like,
happened?"
So what just happened? Why did it get so cold? So I had to throw my jacket on, put on some pants,
Yep.
and we went to dinner. We walked around the city, went to downtown Duluth. My dad was shocked. He drives through Duluth to go fishing up in Canada sometimes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So he was like, wow. This place has really made a turn for the better. This place looks great. This is awesome. So he was
I'm glad I
very,
stopped here.
Yeah, right. So he was happy to see that kind of, parents, empty nesters. I'm the youngest of 3. There's
wow.
3 of us,
Oh.
yeah. So having their youngest child move states away was
Yeah.
kind of a big adjustment for them. So they were a little hesitant of me coming up here. But once they got up here, saw the area, toured apartments. They knew that this was going to be a good fit.
Now
so.
your dad can stop by and visit you on his way to Canada.
Right.
That's
I know.
perfect.
He actually, I have a funny story. He actually, when we first came up here, he said, okay, I have a great idea. So how about we come up here, we look for apartments, that night we drive. We go to Canada. We fish for 3 days. I said, okay, so is this a trip for you or like, what's going on here?
Do you enjoy fishing?
I do enjoy fishing,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I got a pretty good rock bass the last time I went fishing.
All right,
Yeah,
there
not
we go.
too bad.
That drive to Canada, though, it's still a number of hours.
Yeah.
It's not close. It's
No.
not close. So let's talk about your time in TV. What got you into it?
So it all goes back to about high school.
Okay.
I used to play volleyball in high school. In my sophomore year, I actually suffered an injury in my tailbone. The scientific term for it, and it sounds kind of silly, is an inflamed coccyx. So the tip of my tailbone was swollen.
Oh, geez.
And I had to get a steroid injection because of it. So that kind of retired me from volleyball altogether.
Yeah.
But then my high school, funny enough, my graduating class was 174 kids, so very small, but
Yeah.
our high school had a broadcasting club.
Oh, awesome.
So I was able to join that and kind of stay in the game, but also not, further injure myself.
Right.
So that's how I kind of found journalism. And then in college, I knew that that's what I wanted to do. And going to a Big Ten school and just a big school in general, like Illinois, a lot of the journalistic opportunities at that school were all sports related.
Right.
So it kind of was perfect for me. I had been doing sports play-by-play in color for my high school volleyball team, which wasn't that great, but it was good experience.
Yeah.
And I was able to kind of carry that over into my college years, and our boss, Michael Baldwin, he had to do a little bit of convincing to get me into news, but I'm overall thrilled to be doing it. I really don't regret my decision at all.
You're in a lot of different genres of news. Now we'll talk about that coming up after the
Yeah.
break. But when it comes to the news portion, how have the mornings been like with Natalie?
Natalie is incredible. I'll just start off by saying that. She's
awesome.
amazing. She's been an amazing mentor I'm so fortunate to sit beside someone so experienced like she is. So that has been such a treat. But I can't lie, adjusting to the hours has been very hard. Going to bed at 6 p.m. is definitely new to me.
It's hard on the social life.
Yeah, very. But working those really early hours have kind of forced me to look at life a little differently, not to get philosophy.
No, I love that. Yeah.
Not to bring philosophy into this, but I realized that I am going to sleep at 6 p.m. I am waking up at 2 a.m. But when am I getting off? I'm getting off at 11. I'm getting off at 12. This is prime time day, people. So it's been great. I've really enjoyed that aspect of it, especially. So that makes waking up a little bit easier.
And I know Natalie enjoys that too, going to the stores too when nobody's around.
Yeah, right.
That's always awesome. Well, Anna Ekberg joining us. She'll be here after the break. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Still joined here by our wonderful morning anchor, Anna Ekberg. Now, Anna, what is something that you love to do outside of work?
I have kind of a niche hobby, I would say.
Okay.
It's called hand crocheting.
Okay,
So
is
you-
that kind of like knitting?
Yeah, so
Okay.
you get this really big chunky yarn.
Okay.
And you make the loops with your hands. So I love giving gifts. That's one of my
Aw.
many love languages, I would say. I love giving gifts to people. Christmas, love it. Birthdays, love it. So making these blankets, it's also kind of I'm going out and buying all the supplies, but I'm
Yeah.
putting in a lot of work to make these blankets. And it's also just really nice to get my hands doing something instead of this on my
Yeah,
phone. You know
scrolling.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a good way to get off my phone, sit on my floor in my little crisscross applesauce, and do some crocheting. It's a lovely pastime. I would say that I've thoroughly enjoyed. And I also do love reading too.
Favorite TV show?
Ooh, BoJack Horseman.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, kind of a deep cut
Yeah,
there.
deep cut.
But I will say that it is a great show to rewatch. Something you're going to learn about me is I am so uncultured when it comes to movies, pop culture, TV shows,
Really?
because I find one thing and I will rewatch it time and time again because I
Gotcha.
know I like it.
Yeah, it's familiar. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
So BoJack Horseman's definitely a comfort show for me.
I'll have to watch that show. Also, you're going to have to watch some new shows that are streaming on Northern News Now Plus and over at northernnewsnow.com. So Anna here, she's got 2 new shows, The Good Side Up North. Let's start with that one. What can folks expect with that show?
Yeah, they're really putting a lot of pressure on me with all these shows here.
Morning show, 9 o'clock,
right.
2 more shows.
Yeah, I know, I'm a busy bee. But the good side up north is kind of just taking all the good stories from the Northland and the good stories from across the country, combining them into one. And, working in news, a lot of the news is pretty somber. It's pretty hard hitting.
Yeah.
A lot of it's a little depressing. Those stories in the Twin Cities, especially, the shootings and that recent stabbing at that daycare. It's always good to kind of get your head out of that hard news space. And that's why I'm so honored to do the good side up north, because that kind of gets me out of those more somber, hard-hitting stories and into what's really good that's going on around the Northland.
I love that. And then are there ways that folks can get in touch with you or send you stories too for that show?
Yeah, so my email is aekberg@kbjr6.com and also aekberg@northernnewsnow.com if you want to email me any stories, anything feel good that you guys think is going on in the Northland. I'd love to cover it.
Awesome. And then also you got another show. You're with Yasmin Shah, who's a part of our sports department, called Overtime. What are you talking about on that one?
Yeah, so that's a mainly women's sports focused podcast. Yasmin is an incredible reporter in sports. She also went to a Big Ten college as well and did Big Ten Student U like myself. So we have a lot in common and a lot of shared interests in that way. So recently in our episode for next week, we just had 2 UMD soccer captains on our show.
Oh, fun.
So that was lovely. Those 2 were adorable. I can't wait for you all to watch that. But it's women's sports focused, but it's also a lot of lifestyle stuff too. We didn't talk just about soccer. Where are you going to get your coffee? What are you doing on your off days? Which beach do you like to go to? Just a lot of stuff like that. It's super cute. I would recommend it.
The real life stuff.
Yeah, right. The hard-hitting questions.
You can find those northernnewsnow.com. And Anna, while we have you here, is there anything else that you want the viewers to know about you?
My favorite color is green.
Which you're wearing? Nice.
Yeah, I am wearing it. I used to have a goldfish named Laverne. She lived for 13 years.
That's a good fact.
Yeah, she was a very old fish, and she was near and dear to my heart. Rest in peace. She did pass away recently, but that's okay. This is not a somber matter here. We're excited. We're on Northern Life after all. But other than that, I don't think there's really anything else. Oh, huge Dave Matthews Band fan.
Whoa.
Favorite band of all time. Yeah.
Crash Into Me, good song.
Great song.
Great song. Anna Ekberg with our morning team. Be sure to watch them weekdays 5 to 7. Anna, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. We'll see you after the break.
Well, coming up tomorrow here on Northern Life, we have another brand new 2-part blindfold. This one's going to involve our former general manager and longtime news anchor, Mr. Dave Jentsch. We're going to be stopping by his farm, getting to try out all sorts of responsibilities that come with farm life. We did like 4 or 5 different chores.
Yeah, we were put to work. Also, as you could tell, I was taking off my blindfold. Hunter had Dave say something to me, and I was like, oh my gosh, is that Dave Jentsch?
I wanted to see if you remembered his voice,
yeah,
right?
Blast from the past, but Dave has a great voice and also a great guy, along with his wife there on the farm. We got to meet their grandkid too, which was very sweet.
Very, very fun time for sure, catching up.
Hard day of work, and they do that every day. Yeah, before we go, some of those activities we did were a little scary on the farm, especially driving a tractor, but so are Lowe's new 2026 Halloween decorations, which includes a 15-foot headless skeleton. Now, Home Depot's 12-foot skelly is just, so tiny compared to this one. That one goes viral every season, but Lowe's launch says the headless skeleton is now the tallest in the market. Other things you can find, different animatronics, statues, and inflatables, ranging from spooky to family-friendly.
So you're saying my skelly's like 3 years ago now?
Yeah, you're going to have to buy a new one. Yep.
Oh, 15 feet, that's crazy, man. I can't fit that anywhere.
Yep.
We'll have to figure it out.
Gonna get a manual car and a new skeleton.
Look out, everybody. It's going to be crazy. Thanks for joining us today. We love you so much.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Monday.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.